Good morning, YouTube. William Michael Forbes here. I'm a spiritual medium, an intuitive life coach, and a channel. And today, welcome to Supernatural Saturday. We call it Supernatural Saturday because this is a really awesome time in human consciousness. It's natural for everybody and everyone to be able to tap into higher levels of knowledge, wisdom, and awareness. And it's Saturday, of course. And today, I have the opportunity and privilege to bring through Master Kutumi on discussing what he called connecting to and knowing your soul. And I find this a very exciting process. And with Master Kutumi, one of the things about him is he's very gentle yet very clear and focused, like laser focused being. And we're going to be covering how to actually connect to and know and utilize the consciousness of your soul. Hi everybody. It's going to take a moment for everybody to come online. I'll just give you a minute to catch up. But I'm really excited. We are living in a time in human consciousness where anything is possible for anyone who has the ability to imagine and be active and procreative. And it's an amazing time. Our consciousness is rising above and beyond what it has been historically for the last few thousand years. We now are getting access to different levels of knowledge, different levels of information, different dimensions of beings. It's a profound thing. There are so many people coming through with higher knowledge now. It's not something that is just some strange cult thing or some new agey thing. No, this is becoming the new norm where people have access to dimensions of information and knowledge beyond our 5 physical senses. Now, your 5 physical senses are only designed to let you appraise the material world in which you find yourself at this moment. That's all the 5 physical senses really do. They let us assess and identify what's going on in this physical dimension. There's another aspect of you that we're going to be getting into now, obviously, that Master Kutumi talks about, the soul. And there are not just Master Kutumi, but many beings throughout history. Master Jesus, Buddha, Lao Tzu, Joan of Arc. Many leaders, many spiritual leaders throughout history have talked about this thing called the soul. I always spell soul, uppercase S-O-U-L-E, stands for Spirit of Universal Light or Love. Because I believe that this manifestation of consciousness that is you, that is me, and as a non-physical consciousness that animates itself through this body. Remember, this body is animated. It's animated by the way I interact with it, right? And I interact with it from a non-physical place in consciousness, just like you do. And this part of us, yes, I know, this part of us called the soul is not bound by the same rules and laws of time and space that our body is, or that our mind is. The mind is the joining point between the material world and the immaterial world, where your non-physical self exists. Master Kutumi says, when you begin to know yourself as this non-physical consciousness that is aware of your thoughts, that is aware of your emotions, that is aware of your body. As you begin to grasp that perspective of your being in consciousness, you move into a position where you begin to have choice over the thoughts that you will allow to be put in your mind, the thoughts you will express to the world, the emotions that you will generate, and the actions you will take. From the perspective of your soul, your awareness, consciousness, whatever name you wish to give it. It is only from this perspective of your non-physical awareness that you're able to direct the activities of your physical medium of expression. He's saying to me now, that's why they call people that can connect to these beings and bring them through mediums, because we're just a medium place where we can allow this information to percolate through. There are different degrees and levels of connectivity to your soul that you can allow or not allow. He's saying to me right now, most of you are stuck in this. Most of you are stuck believing that this is all that you are, that there is nothing beyond this form. But I would say to you that have this doubt or lack of faith, that why then does this form obey you when you think it to do this? Or why does your form choose to act as you would have it act? You can even make this body that you are in go contrary to what is normal for it. You can make this body do things that are bad for it. In and of itself, it would not do those things, but you can make it smoke. You can make it drink. You can put toxins into this form against its natural expression. Because you are not the form. The form is the vehicle that you utilize and through which you articulate or have the potential to articulate your divine nature, your soul, your infinite self as the finite expression of it, an infinite cosmos. He's saying it's important to understand the feeling energy that is you, the feeling energy that is you beyond your regular day-to-day emotions, that you that is beyond your day-to-day thoughts and memories, that you that stands quiet above those, watching them. When you assume that perspective fully and completely, you will have what is commonly known as free will or free choice. Up to that point, you are basically subjective to the conditions of your environment, to the ideas that you've been given. And your capacity to step out of that is the gateway to what you call the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, the eternal now, where you are not limited in terms of what your capabilities are, even on a finite level. There are many of you in this dimension now that express what you call miraculous behavior. Many successful individuals, we do not need to name them, but there are many individuals that are doing things that you call miraculous, and you think, I could never do that. I could never be like Elon Musk, or I could never be like Mother Teresa. But that is only because you are articulating your perception of yourself through this finite mechanism and what has been stored in it through the senses, through the times you were living in this form from the moment it was conceived. He's saying learning to step your awareness back from thought, to step your awareness back from emotion, to become aware of that quiet place that is you, that is all of us joined in this state of grace, of limitless potential, where we may, in fact, do anything from the perspective of understanding how energy, matter, work as a manifestation of our creative process, of your creative process. For it is the collaboration between your thoughts and your emotions that generate the actions that are tainted and filled with the feelings that these thoughts and emotions are designed to produce. What do you mean more specifically? So in a nutshell, what's really being said is when you recognize that your thoughts are not who you are, your thoughts are just information stored in your body and mind, and that those thoughts interact with your body that cause it to respond and react in very precise ways, emotionally. So if you think that if you're walking down the street and you hear somebody scream and you find your body goes, oh, and you find your body gets startled by that sudden noise, that voice, loud voice, that reaction is just an instinctual reaction. It's hardwired into your body, which is geared to survive. It's geared for fight and flight, to preserve and protect itself. And animal consciousness functions, not just our body, because our bodies are animal bodies. He says, there's no difference between your body except for the capacity of its mechanism to express more of energy and consciousness through itself. Other words, the body you exist in at this moment is merely just an animal that has agreed to allow you to inhabit it. And it has surrendered itself to you. It's funny because I'm thinking of, as he's saying this, I'm thinking of the movie Avatar, where they have their hair braids and they can join their hair braids to their special animal and become one with it, whether it's a horse or a flying dragon. But their capacity was to merge with the consciousness of these other animal forms. Another movie that comes to mind that illustrates this principle is a movie called The Golden Compass, where humans and animals merge in a union, and if one part's hurt, the other part feels it. And it is like that when you are in a physical body. Like when all of us are in a physical body, it is like if something happens to the body, you think it happens to you. The reality is it's happening to the body, but because of your interconnectivity with it, you experience the body as self. But we know from things like firewalking, we know from things that strengths of feet that people often perform, that the body can be altered and changed. And I've done firewalking before, so I know from personal experience when I'm looking at that bed of coals and one part of my mind is going, I could burn. And then a part of me says, no, you're perfectly safe at all times. At all times. It's like cool grass. You're walking across cool grass. And you walk across that 12-foot bed of coals. I did it with my eyes closed the first time. Because I was just I didn't want to see. I didn't want that part of my brain to register. But my body walked across, and there was no burning, no marking on my feet. And yet I watched a bunch of other people that also walk at different degrees of burn. And I would watch the way the people were walking across, and then some of them would react. You could see where they had the thought in their mind, and then the body reacted to their thought about what that meant. And the body just reacted. For me, the body reacted like it was just walking across cool green grass. So on the other side, even the hairs on my toes were not even singed, And I don't know if you take a candle and put it near a hair, that hair will singe. Well, the heat coming off a bed of coals is significantly higher than a candle. So when you experience that for yourself, you get to realize that this mechanism has capabilities that are just beginning to be realized on a massive scale. Now that the technology is available to share this knowledge and information, all these beings, Master Kutumi, Master Jesus, Buddha, Lao Tzu, Zarathustra, Yogananda, are able to come through, many beings that are able to transmit their messages and empower people to greater capabilities of expression. They're saying the word divinity, greater capabilities of divinity. But awakening your soul begins when you begin to recognize from a perspective of awareness that you are not the thoughts that go on in your mind, that you are not the emotions that those thoughts generate, and that you are not the physical form through which those things grow. Why are you saying grow? He's saying grow because the more you form a thought or idea, the more it begins to become a functional part of the physical experience of what you call this third dimensional reality. Your ability to change and alter that puts you in the driver's seat of totally being in charge of the manifestation of your experience. And it's very true. So getting to that point where you are the awareness, observing the thoughts, the awareness in the quietness of observation, the thinker, not the thoughts, the feeler, not the feelings. From this perspective, you move into the perception of your soul, your awareness, your being. And it is from this position of being in consciousness that you are able to articulate deliberate and meticulous changes in this biological system and in the systems that are existent around it. What do you mean by that? In the systems that are existent around. By that he means that when we change or alter a thought, we actually change the electrical potential that's moving through the nervous system. So if I'm in a state of excitement, and you've seen this, people get really excited, their nervous system gets really highly charged, and we see overt expression of excitement. When people are depressed, you see the body language changes. So that also generates a change in the electrical energy around you. How do you feel when somebody's really upbeat and excited? How do you feel when somebody's really depressed and sad? Their energy can affect you unless you know how to step out of this and be the director of what you wish the attention to go towards. He's saying, this is the great liberation. This is the resurrection. This is the resurrection. The recognition that this form in which you find yourself is merely an instrument that you utilize as an extension of unlimited intelligence through a finite point of time and space. Your ability to step into this position of awareness. He's saying he's like the Trinity. You are the Trinity, the Father, the awareness, the Son, which is the form, and the energy. Father, Son, awareness, energy. Okay, right. So when you're able to articulate and alter and change the way in which you bring energy through this form, you alter your expression here. So if you would normally get angry in a certain situation, it's important to understand that when you choose to not express that anger, when you pull your awareness away from that anger, and you can make a decision, I'm not going to be angry. I'm going to be calm and relaxed. In fact, I'm going to make my body breathe, and I'm going to make my body relax and start to de-stress it. And the minute you move into that awareness where you begin to choose how the body's going to breathe, what your attention's going to go on. The minute you move into that level of awareness, you begin to liberate yourself from subjectivity to what you've been taught and subjectivity to what the body naturally, automatically responds with external conditions with. So it's very important to understand this. He's saying that this consolidating your awareness actually expands, enhances, and increases your capacity to articulate higher frequencies of energy through matter, and into the point to change the very substance of things around you, including other humans. And I agree with that based on the previous examples of, when somebody's really excited around you, it changes things. If you're standing in line, you're frustrated, you're adding that energy to the situation. I cannot tell you how many times I've been in lineups and a part of me used to want to hurry and get through the line. Now I'll go into a state, I'll see a big lineup. My old response would be, oh, lineup, right? Now I see a lineup, it's like everything's working perfectly. I'm going to enjoy the moment. I start breathing, relaxing, being the present. And I'm always blown away every time when the line suddenly moves really quickly or a bunch of people leave and suddenly time changes. When you move from a state of fear and need into a state of having, of knowing, of feeling that everything's happening in perfect order, matter, time, and space begin to organize themselves. Like right now, when I feel as Master Kutumi's presence, like he's very gentle but very clear and focused, very sharp mind. When he comes through, it's like it's a level of clarity. It's a feeling of peace and relaxation. But I'm also really excited too because the energy potential he brings through is, relatively speaking, to where I experience my consciousness is slightly higher. So he's access to more knowledge and experience based on what he's experienced through time, space, and non-time space. But he's saying now it's time to take some questions before we get to the short meditation. There will be two. He's saying there'll be two meditations today. The first one will be for your project of the 1 billion strong. He says the second meditation will be for the individuals that are at this time seeking to find liberation from this system to restore themselves to the one that controls the horses rather than being dragged around by them. We will do a second meditation for those of you that wish to feel the greater peace that is naturally who you are, the greater capacity for you to begin to restructure the thoughts in your mind, and therefore the feelings in your body, and therefore the experiences in your world. He's saying the timing will be different on each, but we're going to use the next 10 minutes to take some of your questions and let's see what sort of concerns and ideas you want to share based on, he's saying based on what you have heard, what is it you wish to know? So that's very exciting. Now, I don't know where the comments are. There they are. I'm just going to scroll up and try and get what I have here. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Eclectic Alchemy. That's a great username. Hi, Christine. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Laura. John, your teachings and your team teaching is a great gift that is growing every day. Don't know where it is taking me, but I just go with it. I know that it is the road to happiness. Thanks, everyone. Oh, thank you, John. It's an honor. It's much an honor and a privilege for me to have this experience on a day-to-day basis. Whether sometimes I'm in the shower, sometimes I'm on the toilet, sometimes I'm walking around, and they'll just come in with information. You've got to do this. It's important to focus on this. When you get to that place where you're not identified as a finite, that this is all who I am, you start to connect your consciousness to broader levels of awareness. And we see this demonstrated by many mystics on this physical plane. The Eastern mystics that lie on beds of nails or will compress themselves down into a 2-foot, 6-foot man compresses his body down into a 2-foot by 2-foot cube and gets it sealed and put underwater for like 45 minutes with no oxygen, and he's there and he's able to alter his physiology, or people like Wim Hof who are able to alter his consciousness and his physiology to do what most people think of like as superhuman, or somebody like Darren Brown who can turn around and sit somebody at a table with them, have them chew and swallow glass and they're not hurt. the capacities that we have to alter time, space, and matter, and the way the body experiences, the way we experience it, is just beginning to be revealed on a massive scale on the planet. And it's a real honor and privilege to be part of that process with all of you, because it's not just me, it's all of us. Naveed, Naveed, when I tap into, when I ask Master Jesus to come forth, he's just smiling and he's saying that you need to slow down on the thing that you're working on. He says you're trying to push through something too hard. He's saying there's something you're trying to push through too hard. You got to slow down and dial that back a bit. He's just giggling because he says he knows you're learning. But yes, I come in many aspects. To many, I come in the way that you will receive me. I cannot come to you if you will not receive me. Wow. Thank you. I always come to those who are open to the knowledge and presence of their higher being, for we can only connect on the level that you're willing to receive me. And in the way in which you're willing to receive me, you may be in despair, and I may come in the form of a dog to comfort you. I may come in the form of a message through the radio. I may come in the form of a new friend. The form varies according to your ability and openness to receive. And this is always the case. This is always the case. Wow. Victorious, a great question. So does the body sit in the soul? Master Katumi is saying, in one respect, it certainly does sit within the soul, not the soul within the form. As you become more aware of the nature of that which you are as the non-physical consciousness directing the material medium, you will become aware of the energy that you utilize, that all utilize unconsciously, to maintain this form as a coherent manifestation of limitless particles of energy. But for you specifically, it is important that you begin to focus your attention not on the position of one aspect of self relative to another, but to consolidate your awareness more deliberately and intentionally on just being present in the moment as awareness. Observe your thoughts quietly and patiently. Do not be attached to them. Be willing to release them. Be aware of your emotions. Be willing to not be attached to them. Be willing to release them. And then you may choose, when you're able to let go, then you may choose what it is you wish to hold on to. And we recommend you hold on to ideas and feelings of love and joy and gratitude and appreciation, for these are the great gift that everyone has come here to seek, to express and experience. Cool. Thank you for that question. Oh, you're welcome, Eclectic. Luke, I dreamt of you today, William. How can we interpret when people appear in our dreams and what it means? If you're asking me specifically, again, things always represent, whatever happens in here usually represents what it is I'm focusing on, this from my past, or it's something that I'm creatively generating. So if I'm contemplating for the first time, let's say the very, 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 very first time that I ever realized that I could think my own thoughts, I was just after a near suicide attempt on my part when I was age 20, and the person that took me in at that time gave me a book to read called The Psychology of Self-Esteem by Dr. Nathaniel Branden. And in that book, Branden uses a quote from Atlas Shrugged that says, the question for man is to be or not to be. Not to think. The question for man isn't to be or not to be. The question for man is to think or not to think. And when I read that line, it literally took me out of my mind, because I realized I had a choice to think or not to think. I had a choice over my thoughts. For the first time in my life, at age 20, I realized I had a choice over my thoughts. And what happened when I realized it stepped me out of who I thought I was into the realization that I could choose my thoughts. From that point, when I started having dreams, so many of the dreams I started having then became very vivid and creative. And I began to understand that what I was either dreaming had to do with either my past or a new awareness that was awakening in my consciousness. Again, whatever it is that this manifestation of William represents to you energetically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it represents to you is about you. It's not about William. It is about the qualities of consciousness that you and yourself are enabling you to articulate. You may, he's stepping out and saying, you may utilize the symbolic nature of other mediums, of other mechanisms, of other awarenesses that you have to expand and enhance your awareness beyond the finite conception of who you think you are. He's saying, in other words, we would say that you are viewing this one in the context of that dream because there are aspects of you that this one stimulates in your mind, but you still have them as about him when they are not. They are about aspects of yourself that this one reminds you of that are there. When you own those aspects of yourself that you think this one represents, then you will begin to enable yourself to express and be that which you already are. It is never about the other. It is always about what is within you that the other may represent. And this becomes the beginning of your liberation so that you do not place others above you or below you. You begin to recognize that they can merely remind you of the aspects of yourself that you're seeking to divest yourself or to cultivate. And I would recommend that you consider what in the aspects of those dreams were the elements of the expression that this physical form represented to you. And it is those aspects and qualities of consciousness that you are either seeking to release or to cultivate in your own being as your self-expression. Cool. Isn't that cool? Okay, now we're going to do the meditation now. Let's go into this meditation, 2-minute meditation, a 30-second meditation out to the world. Out to the world, just a vibration of love. So everybody take a slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, give your body permission to relax. Breathe in one more time. And as you breathe in, bring forth what you call a vibration or feeling of love as you know it to be. And as you bring forth that vibration, as you exhale again, expand that vibration of love to fill your body and the space around your body. Take another slow, deep breath and expand it further beyond the space of the room as you breathe in. And as you express your breath one more time, expand that vibration out to surround the entire planet. Imagine you can surround the entire planet and all that it contains with this vibration of love as you exhale. And just feel that energy as you feel it. Feel the way your body responds to it. Feel how the space around your body is responding to it. Now breathe that vibration in stronger. And as you exhale, expand that vibration out to surround the entire planet even more. Make it denser, stronger, more powerful. As you do this, notice how your body is feeling, how your mind is quieting. This is your extension of the vibration of love as you understand it to be. And breathe in one more time. And as you exhale, bring all that love that you've extended into your form. And breathe in one more time and extend that vibration out to surround the entire planet and all that it contains. And just feel this now. For 10 seconds, just feel the vibration that you've generated. Feel the way your body is responding to it. Sense or feel the beings, the animals, the life forms around the planet, how they receive this vibration that you're broadcasting. You're broadcasting this vibration the exact same way this body is broadcasting the sound wave through this voice to speak with you, to direct you and instruct you. Just feel that vibration that you've generated. And very gently bring your awareness back to this present moment. Allow yourself to stay in the sensation of this expanded state of a frequency of love that you just generated. The love that you understand from your personal experience. Because remember, we all have our own awareness of that. The reason we do this short meditation is part of our 1 Billion Strong movement. We have a group on Facebook called 1 Billion Strong, all uppercase. I request that you join that. We have a process that we use every day at 12 noon and 12 midnight, moving into what you call a state of love and extending it out to your body, to the world around you, to add that vibrational frequency intentionally and deliberately to this planet, to shift the human collective consciousness paradigm from fear back to a higher dominant vibration of love. Just the same way as I can modulate my voice or allow these beings to bring a vibration through to you, so too do all of us have the capability to change our state of being at will once we have the experience of having done it. And once you've done it and experienced it, it's yours. You can utilize it. Nobody else can control it. You can direct it, expand it, edit it, delete it. We can do that with anything. So thank you for participating in that short. There will be another meditation coming up in about 10 minutes. I'm going to take a few more questions, and then I'm going to bring Master Katumi through to bring this meditation of you becoming the soul awareness that is you, that is the one that inhabits and utilizes this form but is not the form. You are both the form and the formless. When we have a physical body to express our energy through, we have the idea of being form. We really are a physical entity while we're in this form, and we experience this form as ourself. But it is an aspect of a limitless self. So let's see what we got question-wise here. Thank you for that, Luke. I hope that answered your question. Do we leave the body when dreaming? Yes and no. There are two levels here that humans have the capacity to access. There's a level of our past acquired self, the ego self, the body-mind mechanism called William, for example, might dream about all the things that are past, have recollections from his past be represented in the present state of a dream, or that past experience being represented as a possible future based on that past. And then there's the aspect of yourself that is not that past, that is not this body, that aspect of yourself that can live in absolute stillness, that aspect of yourself that can turn the mind off or turn the volume down on the thoughts, that aspect of yourself that can train the body to be still and calm and quiet, that aspect of yourself that is non-physical. And from that perspective, when you are in that degree of awareness, there are different aspects of information and knowledge that become available. The present moment, this moment right now, is the most sacred experience of being when you're fully able to articulate your presence of mind, your presence of body into it. When you go to sleep at night, I recommend you try this. Breathe your body into the present moment. Quiet your mind down as deliberately and intentionally as you can. And then make a deliberate choice to move your awareness about 2 feet above your body and make a decision that you're going to remember when the body goes to sleep. You're going to remember the experience of being above the form, and keep practicing that until your system, your awareness gets conditioned to be able to do that, right? To retrain your consciousness so that you can see, because you can see everybody's had intuitive moments. How many times have you had somebody, you're thinking of somebody and suddenly they call you on the phone, right? You have a connection. We all have a connection to non-physical realms of communication and energy and consciousness. So you can, it's not the same as dreaming as you understand dreaming. For in a state of being, you are free to create. So I would say to you that this state of being is more of a creative state of consciousness as opposed to a subjective state of dreaming. I'm in my dream. From that level of creation, you can begin to create dreams. You can create states. You can create outcomes in your material world from that state of being. He's saying I'm going too far off track, and so he's asked me to come back to where we are now. So I hope that addresses that concern. How do you awaken your soul's ability? Well, your soul's ability is already awakened. It's a matter of learning to distinguish your awareness from the thoughts that go on in your mind. To learn to distinguish your awareness from the being exclusively the subjective to the form. You can train your body, as you see many as others have done, to be still and quiet. You can train your mind to be still and quiet. From that perspective of that stillness, that silence, be still and know I am. Be still and know I am. And that's a really deep understanding of knowing that you are this consciousness that has this form but is not the form, can express through it, but the expression and the awareness that is expressing it, while they are one and the same thing, are different in degree and intensity. And from it's the same way like this water here, which appears to be very solid, and it is. It's a liquid. I can drink it, and I can swallow it. Never mind that there's an intelligence in my body that can convert that water into blood and skin and bone. But we can also know by applying a thing called heat to this water, we can make this water appear to disappear. It becomes a higher vibrational frequency of water molecules, or what they call water vapor, that becomes expanded because the higher frequency of energy wave. We can also take that energy by providing a lower frequency called cold, by putting a cold plate of steel in the air, and it will take the invisible water molecules and bring them back down into water again. So you can change your state of consciousness from being just the physical form to being the mental form to being the non-physical self. And you can be all three simultaneously. You want them to be in alignment. You want your highest conception of what you can be to be your dominant sense of feeling and being. And again, this is Master Jesus saying that will come later. He will bring that forth next week. Okay, so Master Jesus is saying next week he will bring forth the concept. Can you be clear about it? He's saying, I will bring forth the concept of what healing truly is, of what it means to be in alignment with your spirit, with your Father. He's saying with the source energy. For some of you, for others you will call it the Father. For others you may call it something else. But to understand that from the perspective of your awareness, your being, that which you truly are, your soul, if you like, you can literally move mountains when you have a true understanding of what you are. Not that you would ever choose to do that, because you would affect time, space, and matter very differently, but that you have that potential, as does every being on this planet. Okay, so that'll be next week. I'm going to write that down so I remember. When these beings, the other thing is when they speak through me, one of the things that happens, if I don't make notes, or if I don't review sessions I've done, or lessons I've taught, or classes I've done, if I don't review them, I don't physically retain them the same way yet. I'm still training my neurology to remember the scale and scope of the vibration, the intention, the emotion, the object, the ideas that they put forward. Creation, Christ. Okay, got it. Okay, so let's see. Neo, hey William, I experienced altered states of awareness at sound healing. I wanted to find out if you can if you can tell who may be on my team, and also if they have a message for me, especially now. I just words just jumped in my mind that said, continue to find ways to inspire yourself. Who is this? I'm getting like a Jeremiah, somebody named Jeremiah, saying to you, you need to inspire yourself. Don't just look for the experience of what you want to experience, but be the creator of your experience. Know that you are generating and are capable of manifesting that which you are seeking to embody, that you are the one that can manifest this. He's saying, move from being attached to the sensations of your experience and into recognizing that you are the consciousness, the soul that is generating that experience. From that perspective, you will be aware that you can alter things significantly and with greater ease in your current projects. And he's saying projects. It's not one project he's seeing there's projects. Something about something you drive, something sort of vehicles you use. There's other things, but I don't want to get into too much of that. But that's the response to the that came to me. Jazz, how can I see the abundance and internal work I have done manifested in my life and relationship? It is important. This is from Master Jesus. It is important. You must know by your feeling that it is so. When you truly feel in your whole being, that is from the conceptual perception of that which you wish to manifest into the form of thoughts and image that it represents in the material world, and then to embody the feeling of that manifestation. He's really stressing embodying the feeling to your manifestation into your body, and then embodying that feeling into the world around you. This is what is meant by you arrive before you arrive. That energy, that deliberate, the spirit, you may know it better as the spirit, moves for you in alignment with that which you have aligned your awareness, your thought, and your feeling nature to embody that and express that deliberately and feel it all around you and within you as yourself. And the emotion is very important, to feel the joy of that which you have cultivated in your experience. He's using a slightly different language, so I'm just trying to read. Being able to take what is it that you manifest? He says, what is it you're trying to manifest? What does it make you feel? That is that you want to hold on to, the feeling, and really extend it out. Right? I'm trying to paraphrase at the same time because he's using words that I don't quite understand. Terry, I have been meditating on allowing, and it occurred to me that allowing also means allowing others. Am I on the right track? Terry, that's a great consideration. Allowing others is important, to allow them to be what they're being, but it's also important very important that you decide that you allow into your experience what you want, what represents it. For example, I don't like to eat things that have faces, right? So I don't allow that into my experience. Other people do that; they're free to do that, but I don't want that to be part of my functional experience. The same as with other things that you might want. I don't drink alcohol, so I'm not going to hang around people that drink alcohol. And when I do, I'm not going to drink alcohol. I'll find a substitute, but I'll allow them to drink. They're free to do and be as they wish. In that sense of allowing, I would say yeah, it's important to allow others to be what they are. And the reality is, you can't well, that's not true. You can force and influence other people to be contrary to who they wish to be. And this is an important thing we have to correct on the planet right now. We need to encourage people to be their best selves, not to be conformist to what we think they should be. But even your competitors in your business, you should be encouraging them and cheering them on. We should be lifting each other up all the time, wherever we are, whatever we're doing. We need to be doing that with each other, bringing out the best in each other. Because right now, there's a lot of functional systems on the planet right now, mass media, political systems, religious systems, that are getting people to conform to an idea rather than to break free and express something greater than that conformist idea would allow them to be. They create mechanisms of conflict and fear, and I don't agree with that. So allowing others to be is wonderful, but to be your best self and to encourage others to be their best self, to disagree with them when they're being their worst self, when somebody's being violent and aggressive to somebody that's a friend of yours, no, that's not a way to be. That's just violence and aggression. That's a controlled self. That's an animal self. That's a lower expression of being. But how do you convince people that are on two different sides, that believe each side is right, that treating the other side the way you're treating them is wrong, and then get both to agree so that, well, if I don't attack you, do I allow you to attack me? No, you don't allow them to attack you, but you don't try to increase what they're doing. You just find a way to be the best self. Encourage them to be different. Find a way to befriend them. Cool. Tina, how to stay positive? I feel that I'm going through emotional ups and downs and don't know how to take care of it. Thank you. That's not a bad thing to be aware of. The first thing is that you are aware of it. You're aware of the ups and downs. That you're aware of the ups and downs means that you are not the ups and the downs. There is something you're aware of within your body-mind system. Katumi is saying right now, you are stepping into the house of creation. In your awareness of those things, the ups and the downs, be willing to release them and just be in silence. Rather than looking at the up or looking at the down, which keeps you going back and forth, be still and silent and allow the feeling and experience of your stillness to come down into your body. Allow that feeling of your perception of stillness to come into your mind. Allow your perception and feeling of that stillness to radiate from you. You can call this meditation in your case. But sit in silence. If your mind or body wish to get up and move around, tell them no. Keep them still. Keep them quiet. Keep them silent. Deliberately, this will take a little bit of practice on your part of choosing not to indulge in the down or the up. You will be able to utilize those things to grow, as opposed to having them as something that are taking you out of your power. Know that whether it is good or whether it is bad, you do not have to choose either. You can be in the middle ground. As Master Buddha says, you can be in the middle ground. And in that middle ground, you have free choice and free will. And this is the dawning of the soul, the dawning of your soul, deliberately and consciously, that which everybody has the opportunity to do in this physical dimension. Wow. I think I'm going to take two more questions, and then we're going to do the short meditation with Katumi. Yeah, that is really wonderful, Neo. It is. I love how they come into different shapes and forms. Renata, I'm not sure if it's Renata or Renati. What is the most important for me to do or not to do? The first words that are coming to my mind is, it's not about to do or not to, it's to be or not to be. You need to spend more time in your being, from the perspective of knowing your greater self and being that aspect of you that is an extension of infinite love and joy. In being that and making your thoughts and behaviors come from that awareness is a recommended course for you. But to do or not to do is not the consideration. To be the awareness that is you, or not to be the awareness of you, is the question. Bringing yourself to that awareness is a matter of breathing and calming and quieting and learning to train your body and mind to be your servant as it sincerely wishes to be. But you must train it thusly. Cool. One more question from Leave. Hi, William. Is the healing I'm in need of finally coming? I'm putting in the work. Thank you for sharing your gifts. Well, you're very welcome, Leave. Of course it is. Of course the healing is coming. As long as you are in that attention, as long as you are going in that direction, and you know that you know what to expect when you get there, then you will experience that when you get there. The journey will be longer or shorter depending on your ability to cultivate the understanding and awareness of love's expression through you. For in truth, love is a state of what you call positive being, whereas fear is an expression of a state you call negative being. One represents health, one represents disease. And it is important that you align yourself energetically, emotionally, and physically to the one you wish to experience. How, as a whole being, as one that is healed, how would you walk? How would you talk? How would you feel? How would you awaken in the morning? How would you speak with other people? What chores would you do and how would you do them? Consider this whole, healed, and perfect individual that you truly are, and be that and feel that in every moment. And especially in the moments when you don't feel it, that's the time to choose to be it. Because the form, as these hands open and close, the form will do as you command it. But you must be consistent in the way in which you command it from a perspective of love and grace and gratitude. And it will be obvious to you as you begin to move in that direction. It will be very obvious that you, in fact, can liberate yourself from the very thing that you've imprisoned yourself with. Wow. Whew. Thank you, guys. The questions are amazing. I love it. As you ask them and they answer, I learn too. Like this the concepts and vibrations and feelings, the feelings that they communicate to us that we allow in when a concept that's greater than ones we know. Like Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem at the level which created it. But if you can move to a level of consciousness or perception above that, you will find that you'll transcend the problem into a new state of being, right? And that's ultimately what we're trying to do, is move into a new state of being. Okay, so listen, everybody get comfortable. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would love to answer all these questions. That's because that's just who I am. And that's who they are. If you want to drink it, they will pour the pitcher, is what they say. If you want to drink, we will pour the pitcher. But I'm also inclined to be mindful of how I say and do things. And when we say an hour, we mean an hour. And we got 3 minutes. So for 3 minutes, I want you guys to take a deep breath. Just to take a really deep breath. And as you exhale, let your body relax completely. Give the body complete permission to relax. It'll remain upright and safe. You're perfectly safe. Just let your body relax fully and completely. And let your mind become quiet and receptive to your awareness. If there's any thoughts still going on in your mind, just gently ask them to be shh. Just go shh to those thoughts. And now just feel the feeling of your being aware. You may hear sounds, smell smells, feel sensations in your body. Just be aware of them. Being aware of being aware. And as long as you stay aware of being aware, nothing else can disturb you. Although you know there are certain sounds, certain sensations, you're just being aware. Feel how you feel, just being aware. Now take a deep breath and move your awareness slightly above your head. And just feel the sensation of your being just slightly above the physical head. Now notice, can you see or be aware of things in 360 degrees? Can you see what's behind your body? Can you see what's beside it? Can you sense what's above it? Can you sense what's below your body? Now just take this one thought into your awareness right now. This one thought. I am love. Take that thought into your mind, that you are love. Repeat that word to yourself, I am love. Feel how your body responds to that statement, I am love. And whatever feeling or sensation you generate with that statement, breathe that sensation into the cells of your body. And then exhale that sensation out around your body. And then move your awareness back to that space just above your head. And take a moment to be grateful to your body and mind. Take a moment to be grateful to your body and mind for all they have done and all they do for you. And very gently, now, take a deep breath and breathe yourself back down in, right down into the heart. Move your awareness into the heart. Take a deep breath and stay centered in your heart for a little while today. Just be in that heart center of your being. Know that love is what you are, and that connects us all. Love is what we are. And just feel that. And then take a slow deep breath and bring yourself back to normal present consciousness. And again, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to come to my live show today. And I'll do the best I can to answer the questions through the week that are still up on the wall that I haven't answered. And again, much love to everybody. Master Katumi and Master Jesus are just saying, one saying namaste, the other saying many blessings. So it's different things. So much love to all of you, and have a wonderful, a joyful weekend, and you should create an amazing week for yourself. Remember, thoughts become forms when they're combined with feelings. Much love, everybody. Take care. I just gotta exit out of here now. I'm still learning the whole YouTube live thing. There we go. Where are you? There we go. Great day, everybody. Bye.